Ven. The twins were saying something about price.
Ha! Cicero, please. What do you think I am? The kind of man who swindles his friends? No, that treatment is reserved for the dastardly. You stay here for free.
Good, because
Ven,
we are broke.
I can't.
I insist.
And I insist not. You will take something, or I'm afraid I'm going to have to walk out.
All right. But remember, you insisted. Now, please,
Ages, Lucia. You had me worried.
Is this a bad time? I was out in the Pale Isle when I saw you leave the spire. I hope you don't mind that I followed you. I thought it'd be prudent for me to offer an apology.
The rest of you, call it a night.
I don't think we know she killed our brother.
I'm certain Leventhus over here can get you all settled in.
Definitely. We won't disturb. Promise.
All right. About suggesting that Avestus call you back, Cicero,
You can pay me back by telling me all you know about the Mascherines.
Sorry?
Come on, you're hard of hearing now. You said you were investigating them, yes?
Unbelievable. All right. Over drinks?
Sounds like a plan. So, first things first. This herald.
Fractured.
Lucius says that ever since the War of Bearings began, the Mascherines have been fragmenting, returning back to their factions, the way things were before my brother.
And which faction has Razatov?
They call themselves the Dactytes. They're the ones we met at the Quiet Order.
Led by the Herald.
Exactly.
And what do you plan to do?
Find this herald and get Razatov back. Simple as that.
There you are.
Here she
Is
is.
she the result of the cleaver?
Result?
How did you find us?
I returned to the White Spire this morning. Inspectori Lucia was there. Apparently, she'd been here for most of last night.
Can't hide forever.
Marshal, this is Armadea. She'll be lending us her expertise in the Dementicate.
You've spoken to her of the artifacts, then?
We have.
So, what are they? What do they do?
We're not entirely sure yet. Our leads in the cleaver were destroyed.
What are your plans now?
We need to get Razatov back from the Mascherines, a faction of them called the Dactytes to be specific, and we're going to do that by finding the Herald, their leader.
Direct. How refreshing. And how do you intend to find this herald?
By finding Lysandra Rorik.
What?
The leader of the Mask Runners.
Make a distinction, Marshal. Lysandra leads the Melicate. They're not the Mask Runners with Razatov.
Just tell me which groups I should be taking note of.
The first, the Dactytes, a new faction led by the Herald who have Razatov. The second, what remains of the Melicate, led by Lysandra, my brother's second in command.
And you want to find her because you believe she can lead us to the Herald?
Yes, and Lucia concurs.
Inspectori, those are mask runners you're talking about associating yourself with.
We're not colluding with them. We just need information.
They are fugitives of the law.
If you have another suggestion on how we should find Razatov, please, I'm all ears.
I hope you know what you're doing.
To find her, Lucia has suggested that we turn to a character called the Bloodless.
I suppose that is a smart move.
No.
Lucia didn't tell me very much about the man.
He is a man without honor.
He is a smart man of the Laboris Solis who recognizes the power of information and secrets. If there is anyone that can track a person down in the city, it is him.
The Luca have spent years attempting to locate this man. He's crossed more than a few of my guild's boundaries.
Note that we are not here to tend to the Golden Guild's interests.
You might not be.
You think Favio will be happy with you stopping this investigation just to catch one man?
Oh, fine. I will not act against him.
I do not trust him.
Calden.
I am sorry, Cicero, but there are entities in this city that I do not wish to be involved with.
And your
For the
party
sake of your
can
brother,
only
even.
fit 3 people? Maybe?
As long as I don't ever have anything to do with him.
I want to see if we can
How
have
do you
4
intend to
or
establish
not.
contact with this enigma?
You seem to know a thing or two about him.
I've worked with one of his messengers before. Vasco Tessitore. He's often found in a tavern called the Bleeding Beetle. That is our best bet.
Then what are we waiting for?
I'm also not sure we should be trusting Lucia or whatever her name is. Whoa, damn, that's a lot of info. So, Spy Master basically. What's all this?
What do you want?
You seem troubled.
I stick with you for one day, and already I'm part of plans to
That's
venture
new.
into the darkest parts of the city. Mascherines, the bloodless.
It is often in the shadows do secrets hide. And we are chasing big secrets.
What do you think the city will be like once we find Razatov and the artifacts?
Well, Mascherines will no longer be scarce, which means the fundamental threads that our society has been woven from will change. How that even begins to affect our world. The guilds might not even need to exist. The titles of Contadani and Masquerada might cease to mean anything. I really don't know.
I suppose we'll find out.
This appears to be some sort of home base. I think. We'll see.
Sure you don't want to come?
Yes.
He's going to help us find your brother, you know.
Then I'll be glad when he does.
I'll see you later then.
So, I'm guessing the party can only hold 3 in total. Oh, day 2, okay. So we're in the next chapter then.
Ven, are you still interested in that hobby of yours? Collecting stones and fine metals and all that?
I haven't changed that much.
Well, have a look at this, please, and tell me all you can of it.
What is it?
I was hoping you could tell me. I have a feeling it's got at least a few, special properties.
I'll do some tests and measurements and get back to you about it when you return.
One last thing. Don't tell the Marshal about it, if you could.
My lips are sealed.
I hoped we could make our masks here, but I don't see something. I guess they were thieves before they became part of the ruling government. That's a big story. Wow, alright. That was a really interesting story. And kinda weird. I don't see what it has to do with him, but we'll see. Again, no idea how you do any of this.
Where did you go?
Don't be stupid.
You've seen how he is. He's a good man, Elena.
Even good men have standards.
I hope you're not talking about me.
Sir,
Sir, we were just...
nothing.
You were just nothing? Well, if that's really the case...
We'd like to practice the Visifer, sir.
Brother!
Both of you?
I apologize, sir. My brother...
Let him speak.
Yes, the both of us, sir. Meliari for myself and Messaniari for my sister.
Well, if you want to practice the Visiva, you're going to need a piece of equipment from a Masquerada, aren't you?
Yes, sir, but we understand if you don't want to do this. After all, we have nothing to our name and no credentials and...
Will this do?
Sir...
That's not an answer.
What? It would do fantastically, sir. There's enough space for the inscriptions involved in Meliare.
And the blade is more than enough to paint on. Are you sure, sir?
Well, the worst that could happen is I get an ugly blade back, isn't it?
All right, just a minute, sir. We'll do some basic forms.
What? Are they
Now,
smithers?
the moment of truth. The energies do flow smoother.
It worked, brother!
I don't believe it. Thank you, sir.
Well, if there's anything more I can do...
Sigils, sir. Anything that has complicated Dementicate symbols. I'd like to try my hand at the more complex workings.
Well, I'll keep an eye out. And you, Elena?
Maybe they make the
If you find
masks?
parts of the more exotic variety, I could use their dyes. A larger palette drastically alters the effects of Messaniare.
I'll
Probably
bring
not.
back anything I can find. Now, hold on. Since you're both trained in the Visiva, you think you could handle this?
Raw Mascherines.
There we go.
I don't intend on getting bogged down with the documentation if I have to go through the registry's artisans to get these touched up.
Sir, this is basic work. We can get these up to scratch in no time.
Good. Until then, however, we have business to attend to.
Where, sir?
An establishment called the Bleeding Beetle. You know of it?
It's one of our favorite haunts, sir.
Excellent. Off we go then.
New engraving, new ink. Alright. De Visiva, Meliare and Messaniare. Augmentations take the forms of engraving and painted symbols. Better channel the powers. Nice. How exactly did they learn this art, I guess? So I guess we go way back with this, with the twins. It's not like we met them now. We have history. That was one of the reasons the brother wanted equality between the lesser classes in air quotes and the government or the aristocracy. Restores 2%. Mask charge is the only one I have. Plus 25% damage. Damn. Plus 20% proc chance. Results. Restores 2% mask charge. Okay. It's the only one I have, right? Yeah. I have the same to everybody. Yes, apparently so. That was a big boost, plus 25% more damage. And I'm not sure what the proc chance is. To proc what? What happens? So they are not about the masks. But it is some sort of upgrading system.
Inspetore, if you don't mind me asking, you're awfully familiar with the owner of the tavern.
He was a close friend of my family's when I was younger. Before I joined the portieri, he shared his purse with us. Helped us get through rough times.
That's sweet.
And naive. Most Contadani can't even fend for themselves. What sense is there in sharing?
What sense is there in not keeping everything to yourself? What's the use?
Ah, the stone-cold girl finally shows a sliver of a heart.
It just doesn't make sense.
Definitely feeling this game. It has issues, but certainly worth a playthrough so far.
Get you to the Bleeding Beetles down this way, sir. Too small for the coach.
We'll be waiting for you here, whenever you're done.
Yeah, the Masquerada are basically assholes.
It's just ahead.